एकदन्ताय विद्महे वक्रतुण्डाय धीमहि तन्नो दन्ति प्रचोदयात्।
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Hope you are ready to start. If you are ready to start your camera, so would lovely to see you all. Okay, so my screen is visible. We are on Ganapati Atharvashesh. We are almost learning to chant, but then almost at the very end. So today we'll finish chanting and then we can practice. Yeah, so let's start. Take a moment, sitting comfortably, keeping your spine straight, shoulders relaxed. Close your eyes, take a deep breath in, slowly exhale. Preparing ourselves. For starting Ganapati Atharvashesh, let's start with the Guru Parampara and going down to the tradition which has passed on this whole knowledge to us. Yeah? If you know, please chant with me, or else just take a moment to listen and pray. Sada Shiva Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam. Basically, every starts with the Guru Parampara, bowing down to salutation to the Guru, and then the Shanti part we begin with. Each Upanishad has its own Shanti part, and then we recite that, and then we continue with our practice. So, Ganapati Atharvashesh Shanti part will all begin. We all have done together, so let's practice together. ॐ भद्रं कर्णेभिः शृणुयाम देवाः भद्रं पश्येमाक्षभिर्यजत्राः स्थिरैरङ्गैस्तुष्टवागुंसस्तनूभिः व्यशेम देवहितं यदायुः स्वस्ति न इन्द्रो वृद्धश्रवाः स्वस्ति न पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति नस्तार्क्ष्यो अरिष्टनेमिः स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्दधातु ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः ॐ नमस्ते गणपतये. Last week, we almost came to the very end, Gakara Purva Rupam. We did how Gam has given as a Bij mantra. This is Ganesha Vidya given by Ganaka Rishihi. The Gayatri Chanda is the chand which we are, Nichran Gayatri is the chand which is used for this. Ganapati is the Devata, and we bow down, salute to him. We also saw his Swarupa, and then now we are praying to his Swarupa, Ekadantaya, the one having one teeth, the one tusk, who has Vakratundaya Dhimahi, Tanno Danti. This is also his Bija mantra. We can meditate just like Gayatri. We did this Ekadantam Chaturhastam, again his physical form we are praying to. We practice so far here. Now let's begin with 11th. And the last one is the 12th. So we all start practicing this one, and then we'll come back from starting to end all together. Everybody's ready? Bhaktanukampinam devam. If you
Bhaktanukampinam devam
Jagat Karanamachyutam Jagatkaranamachyutam Bhaktanukampinam Devam Jagatkaranamachyutam
Bhaktanukampinam devam Jagatkaranamachyutam.
I'm going too fast. You can ask me to break down more slowly. Avirbhutan cha Avirbhutan cha Avirbhutan cha Srishtayadav Srishtayadav
Srishtayadav
Srishtayadav
Srishtayadav
Prakrite Purushat Param
Prakruteha Purushatyaram
Prakrite Purushat Param
Prakrute Purushatyam.
When it's in the continuation, we don't chant Visarg, we'll just merge with the pa to fa. Prakrite Purushat Param
Prakrute Purushatvaram
Evam Dhyayati Yo Nityam
Evam
Dhyayati Yo Nityam
Nityam
Sayogi Yoginam Varaha
Sayogi
Yoginam Varaha Bhaktanukampinam Devam
Bhaktanukamyapinam Devam
Jagatkaranamachyutam
Jagatkaranam Chutam
Avirbhutan cha srishtayadau.
Avirbhutam
Srishtayadau
Shasyadau
Prakritev Purushat Param.
Prakte Purushatparam
Evam dhyayati yo nityam.
Eve
Samdayati
Dhatiyo
nityam.
Nityam
Evam
Evam
dhyayati.
Evam
Evam dhyayati yo
Dhyatiyo Nityam
nityam. Sayogi yoginam varaha.
Sayogi Yogina Varaha
Varaha.
Yoginam varaha.
Yoginam Varaha.
Usually we do this in a one breath, but we'll break it down for the practice, and at the end we'll see if we can chant together in one breath like before. Namo Vratapataye.
Namo Pratapataye.
Pataye.
Namo Ganapataye.
Namo
Namo
Ganapataye.
Namah Pramathapataye.
Namaha Pramapatapataye.
When we are merging, we don't chant Visarg, we merge with Fa. Namah Pramathapataye.
Namah Pramatapataye.
Not Namaha. Namah Pramathapataye.
Namah
Namo
Pramapataye.
Namastestu.
Namaste Sustu.
Namastestu.
Namaste Stu.
Lambodharaya.
Lambodharaya.
Ekadantaya.
Ekadantaya.
Vigna Vinashine.
Vigna Nashine.
Shivasutaya.
Shivasutaya.
Shri Varadamurtaye. Shri Varadamurtaye.
Ye Varadamurtaye.
Namo
Namaha.
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 I know two words are missing here, but we
Yeah.
put Shri Varadamurtaye. We don't say Varadamurtaye. Shri
Okay.
Varadamurtaye. Namo Namaha.
Shri
Shri Varadamurtaye. Namo Namaha.
Shri Varadamurtaye. Namo Namaha.
Namo Vratapataye. I'm saluting. Salutation to the Lord of all human beings. Namo Ganapataye, Lord of all Ganas, all the knowledge branches. Namath Pramathapataye. Pramath is with the Lord Shiva. We see all the ghosts and aghoris and all souls wandering around. So even all that which is we see. So basically human beings, the ghost, which is again not in the physical form, but in the celestial, in the world, which is between two worlds yet. Even Lord of all the Pramathas. Salutation to one with the Lambodharaya, large belly. Lambodhara. Ekadantaya, single task. Vigna Vinashine, the one who remove all the obstacle, Vignas. Shivasutaya, son of Lord Shiva. Varadamurtaye, and is the personification of boon giving. Varadan, Varadamurtaye, the one who is giving all the boons. I am saluting to him. And that's how we finish this. This is Falashruti. Usually, in the chanting, we don't recite Falashruti, but it's a choice. You can do that. Basically, it is telling what benefit you will get. Usually, we don't chant now, like it says, the one who studies the Atharvashish become fit to realize Brahman. Permanently tied with any obstacle, it all will be clear. Happiness will increase. He will be free from the sins. All this is Phala Shruti, which means what all benefit you'll gain. Now, in Vedic tradition, in also Shastras, we say, if you are looking at the phala, the desires will appear. If you have desires, we should do everything without a desire. So in that, we should not have desire. This is the benefit I'm going to. So we don't chant phala shruti. Otherwise, mind will go on the phala. Is there any question so far here? Do we do the whole chanting then?
Yeah.
Okay, we did the Shanti part, so we'll start with Om Namaste Ganapati.
Om Namaste.
Namaste Ganapati.
Namaste Ganapati. We can do together.
Sorry.
Om Namaste Ganapati.
Ganapataye.
Om Namaste
Ganapati.
नमस्ते गणपते
Tvameva Pratyaksham Tatvamasi.
त्वमेव प्रत्यक्ष तत्त्वमसि
Tatyambase.
Tvameva Kevalam Kartas.
त्वमेव केवलं कर्तासि
Kartate.
Tvameva Kevalam Dhartas.
त्वमेव केवलं कर्तासि
Tvameva Kevalam Hartasi.
त्वमेव केवलं कर्तासि
Tvameva Sarvam Khalvidam Brahmasi.
त्वमेव सर्वं खल्विदं ब्रह्मासि
Tvam Sakshadatmasi Nityam.
त्वं साक्षादात्मासि नित्यं
Tvam Sakshadatmasi Nityam.
त्वं साक्षादात्मासि नित्यं
Ritam Vachmi.
Pitram Vachmi.
Satyam Vachmi.
सत्यं
Vachmi.
Avatvam Mam.
अवत्वं
Avavaktaram.
अववक्तारम्
Avashrotaram.
अवश्रोतारम्
Avadataram.
Avadataram.
Avadhataram.
अवधातारम्
Avanuchanam Avashishyam.
अवानुचानमवशिष्यम्
Avapurastat.
अवपुरस्तात्
Avadakshinatat.
अवदक्षिणात्
Avapashchatat.
अवपश्चात्
Avotaratat.
अवोत्तरात्
Avachordhvatat.
अवचोद्धात्
Avadharatat.
अवादरात्
Sarvato mam pahi pahi samantat.
सर्वतो पाहि समान्तात्
Tvam vangmayastvam chinmayah.
त्वं
Chinmaya.
वाङ्मयः
Tvam Vangmayas.
Tvam
Tvam
Vangmayas.
Vangmayas.
Tvam
Tvam
Vangmayas.
Chinmayaha.
Chinmayah.
Tvam Chinmayah.
Tvam Anandamayas.
Tvam
Tvam
Anandamayah.
Tvam Brahmayaha.
Tvam
Tam
Brahmayah.
Brahmayah.
Tvam Sachidananda Dvitiyosi.
Tvam Sachina Ananda.
Yosi.
Tvam Pratyaksham Brahmasi.
Tvam Pratyakna
Pratyaksam
Brahmasi.
Brahmasi.
Tvam Jnanamayo Vijnanamayosi.
Tam Gnanamayo Vijnanamayosi.
Sarvam Jagadidam Tvatto Jayate.
Sarvam Jagadidam Tatto Jayate.
Sarvam Jagadidam Tvattastisthati.
Jagaditam
Sarvam
Tattva
Sarvam Jagadidam Tvayi Layamishyati.
Sarvam Jagaditam Layamashati
Layamishyati.
Layamishyati.
Sarvam Jagadidam Tvayi Pratyeti.
Sarvam Jagadidam
Jagaditam
Tvaye
Sarve
Pratyeti.
Pratyeti
Tvam Bhumirapo Nalo Nilo Navaha.
Tvam Bhumirapo
Nalo
Tvam Bhumirahu
Nalo Nilo
Navodani
Navaha.
Maha Nilonma.
Tvam
Tvam
Bhumirapo
Chatvari Vakpadani.
Tvam
Tam Chatvari
Chatvari
Vagapadani
Vavakravani.
Tvam Gunatrayatitaha.
Tvam Gunatrayatitaha.
Tvam Avasthatrayatitaha.
Tam
Tvam
Avasthatriyatitaha
Avasthatrayatitaha.
Tvam Dehatrayatitaha.
Tvam
Tam
Dehatrayatitaha.
Devayatititaha
Tvam Kalatrayatitaha.
Tvam
Tam
Kala
Kalatriyatititaha
Vihati
Tvam Mooladharasthitosi Nityam.
Tvam Muladhari
Muladharo
Sthitosi Nityam.
Tvam Mooladharasthitosi Nityam.
Tvam Muladhari Sthitosi Nityam.
I hear E. There's no E. Tvam Mooladharasthitosi Nityam.
Tvam Muladhari Sthitosi Nityam.
Tvam Shakti Trayatmakaha.
Tvam Shakti Trayatmakaha.
Tvam Yogino Dhyayanti Nityam.
Tvam Yogino Dhyayanti Nityam.
Tvam Brahma Tvam Vishnustvam Rudrastvam Indrastvam Agnistvam Vayustvam Suryastvam Chandramastam Brahma Bhurbhuvaswarom.
Tvam Brahma Tvam Vishnu Tvam Rudra
Tvam Indrastvam Agnistvam Vayustvam
Ayustam
Suryastvam
Suryastam
Chandramastam
Chandramastam
Brahma
Brahma
Bhurbhuvaswarom.
Puram.
Surfa Om.
गणादीं पूर्वमुर्चाय
गणादीपूर्वमुर्चाय
वर्णादींस्तदनन्तरम्
वर्णादीस्तदन्तरम्
अनुस्वारः परतरः
अनुस्वारः परस्तरः
अर्धेन दुलसितम्
अर्धेन दुल्तिस्तम्
अर्धेन दुलसितम्
अर्धेन दुल्सितम्
तारेण रिद्धम्
तारेण रुद्धम्
एतत्तव मनुस्वरूपम्
एतत्त्वमनुस्वरूपम्
एतत्तव मनुस्वरूपम्
एतत्त्वमनुस्वरूपम्
गकारः पूर्वरूपम्
गकारः पूर्वरूपम्
अकारो मध्यमरूपम्
अकारो मध्यरूपम्
अनुस्वारश्चान्त्यरूपम्
अनुस्वारस्त्यं रूपम्
अनुस्वारश्चान्त्यरूपम्
अनुस्वारश्चनत्यं रूपम्
बिन्दुरुत्तररूपम्
बिन्दुरुत्तररूपम्
नादः सन्धानम्
नादसंस्थानम्
सगुंहिता सन्धिः
सगुंहिता सन्धिः
सैषा गणेशविद्या
तैषा गणेशविद्या
गणकऋषिः
गणकऋषिः
निच्छृङ्गायत्रिश्छन्दः
नित्रं गायत्रीछन्दः
गणपतिर्देवता
गणपतिर्देवता
ॐ गं गणपतये नमः
ॐ गं गणपतये नमः
एकदन्ताय विद्महे
एकदन्ताय विद्महे
वक्रतुण्डाय धीमहि
वक्रतुण्डाय धीमहि
तन्नो दन्तिः प्रचोदयात्
तन्नो दन्ते प्रचोदयात्
एकदन्तं चतुर्हस्तम्
एकदन्तं चतुर्हस्तम्
पाशमङ्कुशधारिणम्
पाशङ्कुशधारिणम्
रदं च वरदं हस्तैर्
वरदं
हस्ते
बिभ्राणं मूषकध्वजम्
वित्राणं मूषकध्वजम्
मूषकध्वजम् रक्तं लम्बोदरम्
लम्बोदरम्
शूर्पकर्णकम् रक्तवाससम् रक्तगन्धानुलिप्ताङ्गम् लिप्ताङ्गम्
लिप्ताङ्गम्
रक्तपुष्पैः सुपूजितम्
रक्तपुष्पैरपूजितम्
भक्तानुकम्पिनं देवम्
भक्तानुकम्पिनं देवम्
Jagat Karanamachyutam
Jagatkaranamachyutam
Avirbhutam cha Srishtayadav
Avirbhutam cha
cha Srishtayadav Prakriti Purushat Param
Prakrute Purushat Param
Evam Dhyayati Yo Nityam
Evam Dhyatiyo Nityam
Sayogi Yoginam Varaha.
Yogina
Again, we'll do in one go. Namo Vratapataye, Namo Ganapataye, Namah Pramathapataye, Namaste Stulambodharaya, Ekadantaya, Vigna Vinashine Shivasutaya, Shri Varadamurtaye, Namo Namaha.
Namo
Vratapataye,
Vratapataye
Namo
Namo
Ganapataye,
Ganapataye
Namah
Namaha
Pramathapataye,
Pramastapataye
Namaste
Namaste Stu
Stulambodharaya, Ekadantaya,
Dhanaya
Vigna Vinashine,
Vignanashine Shivasuta
Shivasutaya, Shri Varadamurtaye,
Varadamurtaye
Namo
Namaha.
Namaha. Anybody is having any difficulty at any place? Yes,
It's
well
difficult.
done.
All difficult.
We finished chanting, learning to chant Ganesh Atharvashish. It's all a matter of practicing. Ideally, it is also recommended that once you chant the Atharvashish, you take few moments of the silence. So you focus on the vibration it has created. Now, there are different benefits. I know the Falashruti also talks about, but as I said, once we start to read the Falashruti, our minds start to imagine the benefits it's going to gain. The moment we start to have the benefits highlighted, that all this you will gain, we start to have desires. We'll start to have our own understanding that, okay, I will get this. And if I want to get this, I need to chant this. However, the benefit is beyond what Falashruti can talk about. That's just a glimpse of an idea. So we have been practicing for 4 weeks. Now, if I ask you what benefit we all have experienced, simply by chanting, when we do this 1 hour of chanting, it's a lot of work between speech, breath, and mind. So all the coordination and then twisted tongues, because there are difficult words which we never have chanted. So learning something new. So as I always talk about brain rewiring, neuroplasticity, making new neural connections in the brain, that's what we do. So this is just very, very immediate effect, what we can think of. But at the same time, if you see, our mind is constantly on the go. If there is stress, worry, anxiety, anything that we constantly or regularly suffer with, we are prone to suffer with, constantly chanting helps to release that energy. In the yoga therapy and in many other complementary therapies, when we talk about the anxiety or hyperactive mind, the always recommended practice is you do something hyperactive with your breath or with the body. It's never asked to do meditation, never asked to go quiet, because mind is hyperactive. You need to release that energy, which is constantly rolling. So this chant, any chant, but particularly this chant, if you do, it's very much clear that it's rechannelize the energy, which is hyperactive, going round and round in the mind, starts to get released. We also talk about suppressed emotions in the body. Now, ideally, when we start to chant this, it creates a sound vibration. Any chant, any ritual, any sound, what we create, it has a very particular shabda. Each shabda creates very particular vibration. And when that happens, that starts to release the mental energies, physical energy, because there has been some experiments now scientifically we have done on the water. So the sound vibration, how does it affect the water? It's 80% of water. Our brain is just the liquid form. So again, how that can influence the brain to the body, that is all together what we see from the sound, literally the vibrations of the sound. We also in Arogyam, you all know the Debbie. She does the sound healing, and we know that we did studies with all of the group with the immediate effect and long-term effect. This is amazing results, what we know from the sound healing. This is a complete sound therapy, just in the form of mantra chant. Because specific mantras we know in the specific form, in specific meters. If you remember this very Upanishad talks about Nishran Gayatri Chandaha, very particular chanda it used, meter it used. That very particular meter is very much specific for creating the specific vibration which helps to remove the fear in the brain. So if we talk about the very immediate, what benefit? This is immediate benefit, what happens to the body and mind. Now, if you attach your faith with it, if you know your aradhya, so emotion attaching with it, and you actually visualize the Ganapati or you feel his presence with the very chant, that's add-on benefit to the emotional intelligence. How many times we talk about emotional intelligence? We know that it's very important to have emotional intelligence. How do we become emotionally intelligent? Emotionally intelligent. This is how we become emotionally intelligent, particularly rechannelizing our emotion where it strengthens us, not trouble us. So when there are always, we tag them positive and negative emotion, good and bad emotion. Emotions are emotion. It's just that I don't want to feel those emotions, so I tag them. I don't want to be angry. I don't want to be sad. That's not a good feeling. So we say it's bad emotion, but emotion always triggers by the thought or what we perceive. And if that's the case, every emotion is triggered by something. So there's nothing positive and negative. It's just how I feel. But if you don't want to feel the way you feel, we intelligently modify its impact. So right now, I'm very angry, but I don't want to show anger, or I don't want to be angry. It's a good day, sunny day. I want to feel happy. So regardless, whatever has triggered my anger, I will still, with my intelligence, with my logic, with my understanding, I will overcome that and start to rechannelize, redirect my emotion into something positive I want to feel. I wish we all have that tool, that we can change our emotion. That's the magic one these chants give. Literally chanting this, what really happens is any suppressed, repressed, or negative emotion, what we call it, that actually starts to subside. How? Just like water surface when it has a bubble and it's automatically subside. That's what the changes in the mind it starts to do, so that emotion starts to float away, literally float away. So next time, just a little exercise. If you feel something, again, not very positive emotion, and you're overwhelmed with any negative emotion, whether sadness, depression, anger, worry, just chant repeatedly, just chant. And see, in a little while, you won't be feeling that strong emotions anymore because it floats that away. So emotional intelligence, if I name it very particularly, that's the immediate effect you get. I'm still not talking about long-term effect. I'm still talking about immediately doing that. What all? In the body, in the mind, in the emotions, and in the thought process it can do. Then we come to the bodily effect, the breath. Now, chanting is impossible without having the good control over your breath. Now, superficially, if I have to name it, I will say it will improve your lung capacity. Very, very positively, I can claim that it improves the lung capacity. Because imagine I told you to chant this in one breath. There are two places where I said chanting in the one breath. Now, in that one breath, you must have a good holding of your breath, good control over your breath. Now, this whole thing in one breath. So you know exactly how to use your breath, and it improves your lung capacity. Also, it will give you good control over your mind. When you can control your breath in a particular way, you actually start to train your mind to be controlled in a particular way. So if you want to do that, breath is your key, chanting is your key. Sound, breath, mind, the tongue, the language, the linguistic. Now, this is a new language, I believe, for each one of you. You have never come across this language. If you already know Atharvashirs, it's a different part. But if you're learning it for the first time, it's a complete different new language you're chanting. When we learn a new language, we are basically preparing the new connection in our brain, because that's learning something new. So your brain has to pull the new strings to start a new memory. When this new memory starts to build, the new dense network in the brain starts to build. That dense network is basically help the memory. So if you have trouble, and if you're concerned about having trouble with memory, concentration, focus, forgetfulness, dementia, any of those concerns, if that's something we all are worried with the aging, this is one very, very powerful tool to help revive that, even at times recover that, even at times to reverse to the certain extent. I'm not saying dementia can be reversed, but forgetfulness, the memory troubles, when we start to have overwhelming emotion, it starts to overturn that. In the early stages, simply by repetition of the chants can be done. Even if that doesn't happen on its own, then when a very specific meters, we also do that. There are two ways of chanting. One is how we do simply chanting, simply reading and chanting. That is also very, very effective. There is no better or much better way, but this is as equally good. There is another way where we have swaras. Swaras means there are meters on top and top on the line and below the line. So just an example, it doesn't show the meters, but then I will just give you an example. Om Gang Ganapataye Namaha. So there are meters which go one up, one down. So these are swaras, these are meters. When you put these specific meters, you're actually training your vocals as well as your breath. At the same time, your mind to which one to take up and which one to take down. This is Saswar chanting. That's also very exciting, very different. At times, at very first, it looks very difficult because we are not trained to chant, sing, or talk with the meters up and down. If I tell you, go up and down in the one row, it is going to be difficult to train your vocals. But once we start to practice, that's where it starts to make a difference. There are not really research studies, but we also know that Saswar chanting does also help with the voice, speech, even the hormonal imbalance. Now, we don't know exactly how, but it does help. So there has been several experiment, not published, not yet experimented as a scientific experiment, but there are very specific studies that we have done, which is not yet published, that with the women's group, especially when they are going into their menopausal phases, we know the hormonal balance is very up and down. The another phase is pregnancy, before conception to the delivery or after the delivery. One of these timings where any hormones in the body, woman's body, goes complete shift, a huge shift. Similarly, we know that in the man also during the same time, the andropause hits. However, it's not a topic very much talked and discussed, but we know this is the hormonal shift from puberty to andropause. during the life phases, each human being, man or woman, go through these hormonal shuffles, shifts, and these are the major shift of your lifetimes. Now, during that time, simply chanting these Atharvashish or chanting the Vedic mantras, basically what it does is control over the mind, basically control over the brain centers, which has specific centers of memory, specific center of hormone triggers, stress, worries, amygdala, all of that. When they start to rebalance, the hormonal shift goes smooth. It doesn't affect so badly that you are on a roller coaster with hormones. So again, from mind to body, these changes are so powerful that I don't think Falashruti can define for the benefit completely. What it says is that you'll be fearless, you will be disease-free. Now, this is not something to give you as a hope. It actually happens. How you become disease-free? By chanting, you're controlling your brain. You're controlling over the centers which actually cannot be controlled voluntarily with your own will. But with these chants, the sound, the vibrations, this new coordination between the sound, mind, memory, also the breath, the body, all together starts to create these neural connections, and these connections starts to revive the body as well, because you are shifting the dynamics. You are now completely turning the tides to some other direction. So body and brain both has to do a lot of new work. When it starts to do a new work, it starts to release the old discomfort, even the pain. Now, there are, again, several times we know fatigue and pain is very real. At times, we don't have answers for that. If I tell you, during one of those times when the fatigue hits very hard, or the pain, generalized pain I'm talking, not particular pain or acute pain of injury or surgery, generalized pain, chronic pain, start a routine of these chants, and you will see after the chant, the pain score drops. And this is not, again, I'm not saying just because I want you to have the faith, but also because I have seen that in the practices. Sleep, again, the huge benefit with the sleep. And it, again, not a rocket science, not a brain science to understand. If your mind is calm, it automatically drifts away in the sleep. So before going to the bed or in the evening, when you do these chants, basically it calms your mind down. Logical mind, emotional mind, both it starts to balance, which means that naturally the mind is prepared for the sleep times, for drifting away into the sleep on its own. However, if there are fear, concerns, worry, connecting your faith on Ganapati and leaving all these emotion in his lotus feet as we sing, you also drop your worries and you can go to sleep, because now you know the worries are taken care of. Faith is a beautiful thing if you use it in a right way. It's not just a thing hypothetically. It's not just something in your mind. It's not placebo effect. Placebo, when you say just in the mind, you twist your faith and that starts to happen. Faith actually works if you use it in the right way. What we are expecting. When we go to temple, when we pray, what do we say? We always have something to pray for. Keep everybody happy, keep my family safe, take care of this trouble, I'll do this, or take care of this trouble, I'm worried or concerned. We always have our own way of surrendering our worries to our faith, whoever our Ishtadevta. Now imagine if you are promised that he will come and protect you from all direction. You can actually invoke this energy, invoke your Ishtadevta to come and protect you, save you, and take you out of any troubles. Wouldn't that be a blessing? And this is Atharvashish, which has come as a blessing, that you connect your faith, you surrender with your mind, and you invoke that energy. He will take care of it. How? When the mind is overwhelmed, our intelligence actually is covered. It doesn't work. So if you have a stress response kicked in, you cannot think of logically, you cannot think of intelligently, because mind doesn't allow you, the brain doesn't allow you to do all of that, because it's an emergency. You are fight or flight response, or now we say freeze response. When these responses kick in, let aside intelligence, let aside your logic, nothing will work. That's why in such cases, the breath work, nothing works at all, because you are on a fight and flight response. In those circumstances, what really this can do, this actually immediately brings down that flight or fight response by simply knowing that it'll come and protect. There is a fire in the house. Now it's a fight and flight response. You cannot sit here and think of what all can I save. What all you will do is get out of the house first. You will not be thinking rationally to safeguarding things in the house, sitting in the house. You will have to get out and call the fire engines. Now, if I say there is a fire and this is Ganeshathar is your fire engine, you call upon him, that put up the acute responses. And then intelligence starts to appear. Why the Ganapati is also, in all this text, Ganapati is called about the intelligent Buddhi Devata. Simply because it removes the obstacle. What is obstacle? Everything in the mind is an obstacle. Your stress is an obstacle. Your worry is an obstacle. Your emotional, overwhelming feelings are obstacle. Your anger is obstacle. So Ganapati is not going to take care of quarrel in the house or with the neighbors or with something else. That's not actually the trouble. Trouble is still in the mind. When you invoke this, it will take care of all this emotion and the mental vignas, mental troubles. So then intelligence kicks in. Intelligence kicks in and you get the ways. So is it really the outsourcing an energy from the god and goddesses actually helping, or actually all these god and goddesses are in the mind only, the part of the mind and the brain which we are activating through these chants? I don't think the god and goddess is sitting out somewhere and they come to help us. They are already inside. We are just triggering them, simply like we are triggering our stress response. We trigger our relaxation response. So through this, you actually invoke a center in the brain, which is, again, for intelligence, for rational thinking, for finding ways. If you want to find a ways, we always say that whenever you're doing something important, call Ganapati. Is he really going to come? I doubt. What he's really going to come as, it will clear the clutters in the brain of worry, panic, or any thought process. It'll stop that. Moment it stops, intelligent mind, the logical mind, the buddhi will start to work on. The moment it starts to work on, Ganapati is already there. I'm not saying Ganapati does not exist. I mean, it's a faith, it's a God, it's an energy. But it's not somewhere sitting outside. It's somewhere all sitting here. Which one you want to activate? There's a beautiful interpretation of Vedic astrology recently we've been hearing from Vinay, Rahu and Ketu. I don't think that's also just a planet out there. It's all in the mind. The one dragging us towards desire. We want to do this. We want to gather this. There's another one which is dragging us to the right and wrong, the conflict. We all know it's in the mind. All these centers, all these triggering points, which one to pull down, which one to pull up is in our hands. And simply by connecting with the sound, connecting with the specific meters, that specific meter reconnect your breath, your body, and your mind together. And that's how we get the benefit, what it claims in the Falashruti. I said claims because it says it will all happen. Actually, that starts to happen when you start to practice, and you will see all that is happening. Have realistic expectation. So if anyone, let's say relationship conflicts or any troubles in the family, which is actually quite overwhelming, and that's somewhere we are overwhelmed with our emotion and mind as well, because it's an attachment. In that circumstances, how this chant is going to help, not going to calm down the family situation, it will calm down you. Then you will start to think, how can I negotiate? How can I deal with this? What is the best way out? Keeping yourself in a balanced situation and finding the ways around it. Every problem has a solution. It's just how we find it. So in the times when we can see the solutions, chant, sing, and rewire your brain. So your brain starts to minimize your stress and your intelligence start to work actively. Any brilliant ideas? When do you get good ideas, happy ideas, brilliant ideas? When you are in a happy mood, not when you're stressed. Even any good ideas, when you're in stress, you forget about that. And you later on, you say, I knew this. I don't know why it didn't click in my mind. You want mind to click in on the right time, on the right place. Usually it doesn't do. This is how we can make it happen again, quickly. This usually, when I get the acute emergency calls, which is again, emergency is like stress, anxiety, panic attacks, all these attacks when there is an emergency, acute situations, and people often say, please save me. And I said, yes, I'm going to save you. Somehow you just want somebody to help at that moment. It's literally in the mind. At that very point, this is one tool when we want it to be saved. We want somebody to save us. Now, how beautifully this says, protect me. Ava Purastat. Protect me. We're literally crying our heart out to say, protect me from all direction, from up, down, embrace me, protect me. All this chant, protect this, ava tvammam, ava vaktaram, ava shrutaram, ava dataram, ava dhataram. All that is asking for that protection. If the mind knows, why in every situation we say, protect me, help me. It's a spontaneous reaction. You didn't think of saying that. When the trouble hits, the mind automatically cries for help. It calls for help. This is exactly what on those troubled time, this chant says, Ganpati, you protect me, you help me. Because when we do that, mind knows, mind starts to wire around this chant to know help has been called and it'll come to protect me. It will do this, literally tiding your mind with the chant so the buddhi activates. You will find help on your own after the chant. But I tell you, at times where decision making is required. Yes, and we want to take decision with the right frame of mind. We don't want to take any decisions when we are on a worry cycle, when we are on a stress responses. Do this. And then you will see every decision making will be clear in your mind. Do it or not do it. It will be all clear in your mind alone. This is all about trying and testing it. So don't take my words for the fact. I know how it does, what all it can do. But again, it's just about using it on the right time when you need it. Any questions for last 3 minutes?
Dr. Neha, can you hear me?
Yes, Dr. Mukherjee.
Yes, hello. I just have one or two short questions.
Yeah.
You mentioned neuroplasticity. Does it actually help in the short-term memory?
It does. Again, I can also very specifically pull out what sort of chanting, again in the Ganesha Atharvashish, whether to take a small piece or take a big one, or with the swara or without that. So again, very specifically, even out of the text, we can take out that to particularly say how it will help. I mean, what benefit we need, it can do that.
Okay, good. Okay, and my other question was earlier when we were chanting, I assume this is all part of a Atharva Upanishad, yes? That
Yes.
we chanted. There was some lines explaining about earth, water, fire. Can you bring those up, if possible?
Yes. Okay.
Which chant was that with earth,
The
fire?
earlier one, it talked about earth, water, fire.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes, I found that. Tvam Bhumirapu.
Tvam Agni
Yes.
Tam Vayu, that one.
Samvayu, yeah.
Yes, so basically it says here, you have manifested water, you have manifested fire, you have manifested wind, you have manifested sky, space. Does it mean that Jagat is Satyam, it's part of Brahm, and Brahm is Satyam?
Yes.
Yes,
Yes, it
Brahm
is.
Satyam, Jagat Satyam. Is it another explanation for that?
There are all, I mean, again, if this very particular month, the chant, if I say, this is also talking about body, 5 tattvas, the body and the universe. So Atman and Brahman is talking about both, and at the end it says, you are manifestation of all, and everything is you, and you are all. So yes, it is. It is.
That's what I thought.
Aham Brahmasmi Tattvamasi. That's also the exact interpretation we can connect with.
That's what I was asking. Yes, okay. Thank you very much. Yeah.
You know, this last thing we've discussed, I told you I'm learning this to pass this to my grandchildren. And, you know, we talked about Ganesh and I've told him about it. And now exactly this, what we discussed, is what's going to help him, because we say, you are that. And so he is going to engage better into understanding Ganesha.
Yes, we all must understand Ganesha and all the rituals. This is again one of the rituals we say, we chant, we sing, we do pray, all these specific dates, specific chants. Basically, this is again not for world beyond. We don't know whether that exists. So it is all about this life, this world, myself. Just like on Friday, we were talking about Devis and Devatas and the ritual, the importance of that. This is all those rituals which is just done for myself, and how it's helping my brain, my body, physically my brain and my body. I'll tell you just a very quick example. Recently, there has been someone I know very closely. The diabetes medication stopped responding, and she developed a severe reaction with the medication, and then without the diabetic medication, her diabetes were out of control. Her blood pressure was all a mess. It was all medical emergency. She was in and out. And because they could not give her any medication, she had allergic reactions. It was completely very difficult to control this through any medication. She wasn't responding, she was reacting, allergic reactions. On that very part, I simply, there's nothing else which we could do medically, and it's not magic wand. Particularly this case, I knew that, and I knew her, and I knew all that medical history. So again, don't try it until I say so, or somebody you know who have these ideas. With the neuroplasticity, neurobic practices, I told her, just surrender. And I knew her chance, I knew her faith, where it connects. And I told her, forget about chanting mantras, swaras. You simply recite it in the mind. And doing so, in the third very day, her reactions were stopped. And then medication started to respond, because she wasn't reacting to this medication. It started to work. Within a week, all of that started to subside and never happened. She also dropped her medication doses. And all this is not a magic wand. Simply, when you are on this role, body is reacting, the mind starts to panic. When mind starts to panic, that again triggers the body responses more. Simply calming the mind responses, so the body starts to act upon, not react. We can use very specific tools to calm that down. And again, if faith is there, sometimes it makes it easy. Even if without a faith, my son doesn't have a faith. Faith of he has no God exists. He has those faith, but not like me. So even at that time, I can use this very particular section of it and use it for very specific benefit. So this is not extra non-human or spiritual. It's all very, very physical because we are talking brain. Brain is physical. We are talking
Isn't it
body.
faith in self, in yourself, in your body?
Yes.
I think.
Yes.
Yeah. Mhm.
Helping your body to
Mhm.
recover on its own,
Yes.
giving its opportunity simply by controlling or redirecting the brain for recovery, not
Yes.
pushing it with the stress responses. Now, again, this is impossible to control stress responses if we wish to, because it's beyond our control. We do hit with anxiety, worry, panic, all of that. It's an emotion. But if imagine some tool can control that part, body will recover. Body will come out of this automatically. It kicks relaxation response. So use this scientific tools in the background because this is scientific studies. For me, this is all pure science, which I'm using as tools. If
Lovely.
you do that, again, emotionally intelligent way.
Hello.
Chant, sing, enjoy. That's what I can say. The moment you start to enjoy, rest will be taken care of automatically. Yes. So we finished here. Well, let me know what next you would like to do. And I'm sure Pannaji will schedule Sunday meditation as we were doing before. But if there is particular anything you have in mind you would like to bring up for practice, learning, or chanting, I would be happy to do. Thank you, Pannaji.
Hello. So
Yes,
sorry,
Kishorji.
I missed morning because I couldn't get in and I got in quite late. Atharva Shirша, I know very well, but only chanting and all that. But you were saying, this seems to be very good, what you are saying, whatever I heard, part of it. Is it recorded?
Yes, yes. We have recorded,
Oh, good.
and Pannaji can share all the playlist. We can share playlist and it's recorded. Yes.
Oh, please, so I can, because this is what you are saying is something really will connect me very well. As you know, my issues. So this is.
We all have it connects with everybody. I can tell
That's true.
every one of us.
This is the first one on this Atharva Shirša, or because you were doing something last week also?
No, this is, I think, our fifth session. Fifth. We did 5 sessions on Atharva Shirša, learning to chant.
So, so could I see all of them?
Yes, yes. We'll share the playlist. So you have all the 5 sessions together. You won't miss anything in
So
between.
I'll get it soon. Like when
We'll sort out today.
Please, because this is fantastic what you are just saying. Whatever little I heard, and this will help me. Was, as you know, I can't sleep and things like that. So this.
No, the very first day also I did the meaning of Ganapati. We started chant, I think, second week onwards. So the first week also you must hear that in the flow when I speak. I know I can't repeat that ever again. So I will share that first week and
please.
this today's. You will really enjoy, and then you will connect the strings on your
If you
own.
can send it, soon, like today or something.
Yes, we'll sort
I will,
out today.
I will start from the first. They're all 1 hour, are they?
All are, yes.
Oh, it's
Some
okay.
more,
I
some
will-
less, an
Because
hour.
this is I can spend time on it because this is the most important for me.
I will sort out today, Kishore
Thank
ji.
you very
No
much.
problem. No
Thank you.
problem.
Can I just add something?
Sure,
Because
Nidhi ji.
Dr. Nehaji, because you mentioned Gayatri Chand, I'm doing a Gayatri Yagna in 50 minutes. If anyone wants to hear the whole of the Gayatri according to the Vedas, because I was taught in Gurukul, please join me. I'm sending the link to you. If you could pass it on. Dhanyavad.
you.
Yeah. Lot of beautiful
I
chanting.
received.
Thank
I
you.
received that, Indraji. I will pass on in our meditation group.
Thank
Give
you
it to
so
Prem.
much. Dhanyavad.
No, thank you.
Neha,
Dhanyavad.
Neha-ji, that was an excellent session today. It was beyond, we couldn't have achieved anything like this, like we done today. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Nehaji. That was wonderful. I do get tongue-tied, but I followed you, and it was wonderful. It was great. Even last week was my first session, which I had joined because I was away, and I found it really intriguing and very nicely digesting it. But like I said, I was tongue-tied. I'm trying very hard to speak like you. Thank you very much again. And thank you all the participants who's been joining us. And obviously we will have something new next week because Nehaji has finished Ganpati. Unless she wants to continue something else, it's all yours. And not forgetting, today we have an extra session of Hatha Yoga with Yogeshwaram because, the time changes had made a difference for overseas and they can't continue at the same timing, same day. So we have now added it on Sunday morning at 10:30. So please try and join for Hatha Yoga this morning at 10:30. And also, well, Nehaji and I noticed that for the past few sessions, people have not been joining in our sessions at the time, but they've been joining on YouTube. Yeah, that's fine. You join in YouTube in your leisure time, but it would be really nice for you to join in during the session time because we'd like you to communicate with us and also digest what you are learning from us. Learning from YouTube is different. It's different atmosphere, different feeling as well. So we have decided not to put it straight away, but obviously today I will put it in. But the future events we do, future sessions we do, we always going to delay our YouTube 2 days, and which I think Nehaji already started for our previous session last week. This is why you people are not finding our sessions on YouTube straight away, because I read a message somebody was looking for it and couldn't find it. I think Smitaji was one who couldn't find it, but this is the reason why you would not find it straight away now. So we will take 2 days, and obviously we have other work to do as well. So that this is one of our jobs as well, but it takes time as well. Thank you very much all. Try not to forget we have 10:30 Hatha Yoga if you're keen on doing yoga with us. Thank you.
Thank you.
Nehaji.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye,
Thank
everyone.
you.